Right behind is a Zinfandel, which is a very famous California grape variety. To the right side of the road, we have got Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnay in the R&D process, which is yet to come in the market. Right? Yeah, so this is how, we do the plantation and we procure the grapes from this region, and those 10 acres is spread across this place here. So right after the plucking of the grape goes to the crushing area of us. So let's proceed to the crushing area. Right, so any questions so far, people? Saman, Rajiv Saman. Yeah, so let's move to the next process, people. Yes, no, something.
Hello. Yes, speaking.
It's manual now. It's manual so far. Yeah. So it's all hand plucked grapes. So segregation of the grapes, the grapes which are not to be used are segregated right then and then. And then it comes here for the crushing later. Two reasons, we can segregate the grapes right then, and also it empowers a lot of employment to the local people around here.
Any organic methods you follow?
Well, to be honest, Sula is not 100% organic farming. We are moving towards organic. As of now, whatever we use is 100% eco-friendly.
So,
And yeah, and any which way, if you're trying to harvest maybe on the 25th of March, so by the end of 25th of Feb, a month prior, we stop spraying any kind of, pests onto it. Come what may, nothing is sprayed onto it.
so how
Yep.
much time does it take for the grape to harvest? Totally like a cycle. You plant it and how many months after?
Well, right from this sampling, what we do now, grape is not indigenous fruit. So what we need to do, we need to get initial cuttings from European countries. It either comes from Europe or it comes from US, it comes from Australia, New Zealand, and the saplings are planted around this place here. It takes at least 3 years for the plants to get mature. And on the very third, on the very fourth year, you can start harvesting the plant. And if proper care is taken, a plant, the wind can last for about 40 and 45 years as well. So there are a few wineries in Germany and France. They are still using the grapes coming from the plant that were planted a century before, 100 years old plant. Okay, when the sun travels, it gets enough, it gets evaporate sunlight out of it, and also the shadow does not fall on the another plant. Yeah,
And
yes.
what about the late harvest? Like, have any uniform timing for the late harvest?
Late harvest is generally harvested at the end of the harvesting season. Now, harvesting happens in the month of Jan, Feb, and March. For the late harvest, it is harvested almost in the March end or April first week.
Do you have anything like I will this time people will choose like this only particular grape or this happens to
Yeah, we make a wine late harvest Chenin Blanc. So Chenin Blanc is a particular grape that goes into making the late harvest. And it all depends on the Brix level. Brix refers to the sugar content in your wine, in a grape juice. So when we feel that we've got, when the machine says that it has already reached the appropriate Brix level, then accordingly we plan a harvesting time. Yeah, so any more questions, people? So are we good to go for the next process?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, perfect. So let's head in here. This way. All planting we are making use. 96 was the year of plantation and 2000 was the year that Alright, so people, that's the place where the grapes are crushed. This is the crushing area of us. And there are over 3,000 different grapes in the world. That means you can get 3,000 different flavors and aromas out of it. So when we talk about, apple coming out of a wine, maybe pineapple coming from a wine, doesn't really mean apple and pineapples has been added into it. It is just the aromas that you get to smell and taste out of it. Well, so talking about this place, this is a crushing unit. I mean, that's a crushing machine of ours. And we call this machine as pneumatic balloon press. Now, balloon press because you get to see a big cylindrical shape, a big drum kind of shape on the top right here. Now, this cylindrical shape it comprises of a big canvas completed balloon into it. So whenever the grapes are put into this machine, the balloon in this machine it inflates and expands and the grape gets pressed up, it makes twist on the feet. These walls of the balloon wall. Whatever juices comes out goes inside into the tank area, right here tank area for fermentation process. Now, to make a white wine, the grapes are squeezed, but to make a red wine, the grapes are crushed. So you can walk on the other side, there's a crushing machine on the other side as well. Six tons. Just a moment. Yeah, this is easy. This is a conveyor belt. There's a conveyor belt through which the grape goes into the machine, and the machine on the other side, the Deladofera, is a smaller machine here. Now this is the machine used for the crushing of the red grape. Difference between the grapes crushed. The difference between the green and the red grape crushing is to make a white wine, the grapes are squeezed because all we need is just the juice coming out, right? But for the red wine, we need to crush the grape because it is the skin portion that gives color to the wine. So we need to keep skin as well during the fermentation. Now, generally white is made from the green grape, red is made from the black. But it is possible to make a white wine out of a black grape as well. I mean, if you take a black grape, if you peel the skin of the black grape, the juice in the pulp is always white in color. So yes, to make a white wine, only the juices comes out. But to make a red wine, the entire grape gets crushed into it. And the juices, the skin and the pulp goes inside into the tank area for the fermentation process. Now harvesting in India happens only for 3 months period, Jan, Feb and March. So if you come down in the month of Jan to March here, you get to experience everything happening around this place. I mean, you get to see the grape crushing around this place, you get to do the grape stomping. I mean, you must have seen, people jumping on the grape, right? People they dance on the grape, right? So that's a part of crushing, that we do here in Sula. And of course, just to explain you, just to inform you, whatever juices comes out after the grape stomp in the wine is a part of fun. So, what I mean to say is next time if you see people jumping on the grape, please don't worry about it, That's a tomato, no, that's for the tomatoes, this fresh tomatoes. It's basically, there's a place called Durability in Portugal. People in this valley, in Portugal, they still practice the same. They stomp on the grape and they do make wines out of it. And trust me, those are one of the expensive wines in the world. Yeah, but whatever we do here in Sula, it is just a part of fun activity. The juice is coming from the feet of people, It never goes in a wine bottle. It is just a part of fun activity. Right, so let's get inside. Fine starts from here. And just a small announcement. Here onwards you can extend pictures, but video shooting is not allowed. You can extend photography. And all the tanks are filled with the wines inside. So please do not try opening any of the nostril tanks, please. Right, so let's get in here for the fermentation.
So do you guys
Yes, sorry.
use stocks?
We will, just a moment. Yes, sorry.